Zero coin? Yep. Alright. Back with this. I mean, let's just finish the game already. I mean, I do gotta give the mod makers credit though. The music is beautiful. I mean, this really is. Like, this mod's basically the exact opposite of Summer Hope. I realize that. Summer Hope had no aesthetics, but great storytelling, great plot and storyline, great, like, creative, original ideas, but no aesthetic. And this mod has all the aesthetic, but lacks everything else. But I mean, still makes for, like, I guess, a good experience. Or at least while you're not, like, trying to wrap your head around what's going on, at least. Just, like, hearing the music, like, sitting back, relaxing. Anyway. I mean, I'm actually somewhat interested to see what our meeting the rest, or well, us joining the literature club and me and the rest of the girls are gonna be like. I am honestly interested, because the MC apparently remembered everything from that vision, so I mean, when he gets to the club, he's gonna realize, wait, these are the people that the vision was referring to. And that, unfortunately, the sort of objective has changed from saving one to saving Sayori and everyone lives. So save one doesn't necessarily mean literally one out of all. It means you could save all of them as long as you save one, which is literally the premise of any RDLC mod. But ignoring that, yeah, I guess not gonna respond to that. Can't wrap my mind around it. I'm focused on this right now, so yeah, let's just continue. The flashback I just experienced. I'm shocked, scared, and unable to speak. This is what I mean. The mod's telling us this. Like, we can assume that. Just have him, like, all you literally need to do is put, like, ... And that would literally convey the same thing. Or be like, what just happened? Like, you can convey lots of these through speech. And those that you can't, you can sometimes convey through actions. And if you can't do either, then yeah, they can tell us. A little bit of telling is not too bad. Or like once in a while, it's not too bad. Especially if you need to convey like a lot of information. Or convey a specific action. Or a specific like form of dialogue that can't really be emphasized through text on a screen. But yeah, I mean, just like this, it's really, this is the entirety of the mod so far. And I'm really shocked and like, I'm convinced the mod makers must have not like played the mod or had anyone else play the mod. Either that or it was just like someone they knew that wouldn't give like legitimate advice as opposed to like not wanting to hurt their feelings. Because I mean, it's kind of like that. It's like, if you ask your parents something along the lines of like, oh, give me like, tell me what I'm doing wrong or something, they'll say, oh, you're not doing wrong, or not, and it's not wrong in a light or whatever. But it's like, or like any like a loved one or like a child or something like that, like someone who like means a lot to you. Like they're not going to like give you legitimate advice. You need to like give it to like some random or just some person who has like they don't really care whether they offend you or not. It's just like that. My body, it's shaking. That's literally what I was talking about. But this might be a acceptable moment where it's like my body is trembling or something. Shaking's a bad word. Trembling's a lot better of a word. Look at my hands. I'm trembling with fear. Literally what I just said. And you don't need to say trembling with fear. What else would you tremble with? Tremble with excitement? Tremble with joy? That's not a thing. No one has to sacrifice lives to save one or let everyone else die. Okay, so it is back to the original objective then, where basically we can only save one. Because first off, I am fairly sure that the vision, the person speaking in the vision was Monica. Considering how they spoke as if they were another character in the game as opposed to some higher entity. And also, so now it's not save Sayori and everyone lives. It's, we still gotta pick one. So there's no point in saving Sayori, because I already know who I'm gonna save. Unless I have to pick, unless this doesn't include Monica. If it doesn't include Monica, I'm picking Sayori. But why am I chosen for this? That asking question, I guess he's asking it to himself. So I'm about to let people die for my selfish actions. See, the MC's already unable to step up to the plate. Because if he doesn't save one, then they all die. I mean, it's, in a sense, it's selfish not to save them. To try and think you can save them all and fail and let them all die. I can't save anyone, so why me? You can save one. And that's why you gotta try. Why do I have to do it? As the pressure became too much to handle, I stand up thinking about what to do at this point. Like, the first part of this sentence, that's not necessary. It's not needed. And you don't need to say, like, I stand up thinking about what to do. Just say, I stand up and think to myself, seeing a space available to punch, I launch my fist into a wall next to my computer. Drywall. Yeah, either that or he just breaks his wrist, and then that just ends the whole game. The impact of the punch broke through the plastering, leaving a gaping hole. I stand there with my head looking down to the ground. Closing my eyes, I ball my hands into fists and try to think about what my parents would do. They would save one person. Like, actually, I can't really say that, but I mean, that's the right thing to do. No, it's the hard thing to do. You gotta accept you can only save one. You got it. What would mom and dad do if I were them? Because here's the thing. In the end, it doesn't matter who you pick. It just matters that you did pick. Because the opposition or like the alternative is that you pick no one and everyone dies. When I was younger, if I encountered a time where I didn't know what to do, they'd give me the answer to my problem. But they're not here anymore. Yeah, it's been that way for 6 years. What can I do now that they're not here? Have you been asking yourself that question for 6 years? And he clearly can't go to Sayori for this. That's probably a bigger problem. Because when his parents died, he probably found comfort in Sayori. It's kind of like, it's interesting. Because in this mod, or given the scenario of the MC's parents dying early on, it seems like it's swapped sort of like it swaps the like relationship between the MC and Sayori, where now the MC's the one relying on Sayori. But if Sayori's gonna die, then I mean, I guess maybe not. If she's gonna kill herself, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, you have to deal with it on your own. I fall on all fours with my eyes wide open. Like this is literally just telling us. Like, you can just say, I get on my knees or something. I get on my knees and put my hands over my eyes or something. There wasn't anything I could do to save anyone else but one. What do you mean, wasn't? You're saying that as if it's the past tense. This is a future problem. You don't even know the people who you're going to save yet. Like, you haven't met them. He hasn't been to school. He hasn't gone to the club. Tears start to roll down my cheeks at a rapid pace. That's unnecessary. Like, cut that crap out of here. You probably save so much space by, like, cutting out random crap that isn't needed like that. I start to sob, feeling the pressure piling into my brain. We don't need the end of this. Or to have him say, like, my head starts to ache or whatever. Like, if I could save a life, I swear to God, I'm like 1 second away from skipping through all the dialogue at this point just to get to the school and see how he interacts. As opposed to him talking with himself the whole mod. If I could save a life, I wouldn't be. What? I strike the ground with my fist, grunting at the pain I just inflicted myself. You idiot. If you could save a life, you have to. Because, I mean, you have to at least try. Like, it's not like, oh, I can't. I'll just hang out, make the most of my time while I can. If you can save a life, you're obligated to do so. People die because of me. No, that's wrong. It's literally the opposite. People are going to die regardless, but you could save one. It's more like one person will live because of you. For what reason? I'm no hero. And first off, he like entirely believes this. Like, I'm not even sure I would. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes sense if you're like, what the fuck was that? That was like weird or something. And then he gets to school and he meets the club and he's like, wait, are these the people the Vision was talking about? And as more events happen that the Vision's predicted, he has to realize that's true and that he has to make the effort to save one, and that, or else all of them will die. Something along those lines. But he's like entirely good with it now. Like, he's like accepting it as fate or destiny or fact or whatever. How am I meant to save Sayori? See here, Here it goes. It goes back to Sayori. It's the game's indecisive between whether or not it's save Sayori and everyone lives, or everyone dies, but you can save one of them. That's really is indecisive. Just back and forth. Mom, Dad, please help me. Dude, they're gone. They're not going to help you. My emotions were all over the place. I had already lost the two people who meant the most to me. I'm about to lose Sayori, the last person to mean the world to me. The last person the world meant to me, or whatever. So, it's now it's save Sayori, alright? Sayori is literally the last thing I have in my life. Remember how it said you could save one? That's, if you feel you have to save them, granted, if I get a choice in the matter, she's gonna die. But I mean, if he has to save him, then he should be more so ecstatic at the chance to save her, rather than saying, oh, my life is over. If she's gone, I won't be able to live on. I'm sorry, Sayori. So the roles are literally reversed. Like, the tables have turned. Like, now the MC is more like Sayori. I don't think I'll be able to save you. Dude, it literally has been like 5 minutes since you had that vision. Like, you don't even know what they need saving from. Like, I don't even understand at this point. As soon as I was about to finish that sentence, I hear a knock on my door. The bedroom door or the front door? If it's front door, that's a really loud knock. Standing back up, all motion from my face was gone. That's not necessary. Just say, standing up, my face blank, or whatever. Like, that's not necessary. I walked downstairs and towards the front door. Just say you head to the front door. We know that you go downstairs to get there. I know that whoever sees me now will know I'm not the same as I used to. What? I'm not the same as... Alright, this just thoroughness, rereading through dialogue. They must have not played... Reaching the front door, I looked through the glass to see you as Sayori. Who else would it be? Like, who else would you expect? So they must have not gotten someone to play it. The mods makers must have not played through it. That's the only explanation. Because that also explains, like, the grammatical error. On top of, like, the crappy dialogue. Let's see. Opening the door, I step outside to greet her. Hey. Raven, you're looking pale. Yeah. So, alright. So, yeah, it's September 6th, I think. No, it's September 5th. This is the day after our parents' the anniversary of our parents' death, and the day before school. I guess, are we going to, the real question now is, are we going to tell her what we saw in our vision? It would actually, I think it would be beneficial. I mean, yeah, I think it'd be beneficial, because Sayori would be the one person to listen to us. None of the other girls would listen to us. I mean, and that's coming from my perspective as a player. Like, the MC, he doesn't even know them. He's not going to tell some people he randomly met, like, the visions he's had. But, like, him telling Sayori, that's actually, like, realistic. Like, of course, he's probably going to cover it up somehow, but, I mean, it'd really be beneficial if he told them. Or told her, mainly. Because she's the one person who's been with us, like, through thick and thin, with, like, dealing with this. It really makes sense that we tell her, and that could be the difference between saving her and her dying or whatnot. Is everything okay? Oh my god. Alright. Literally what I just said. Hold on. Alright. No, music was on. But, I mean, I really hope that, like, I'm clearly going to pick tell her the truth. I mean, and I'm glad this mod actually gives us choices, because we had, like, 0 choices in Summer Hope. But, I mean, so this mod is literally the opposite of Summer Hope. Aesthetics and gives us a choice, as opposed to telling a good story through the mod. But I'm worried that regardless of what we pick, the MC won't tell her. I really want him to tell her. I mean, I really do think that's best. So I'm going to click this. But, I mean, it's quite possible he'll be like, nah, I'm not going to listen to the player. I mean, we do need to tell her the truth. Like, I'm going to save this. Let's see. Yep. So we actually do tell her. Oh my god. We better tell her everything, as opposed to, like, just, like, some random blurb. Like, we need to sit down and tell her everything, no matter how long it takes. That's what we need to do. I hope he doesn't, like, shortchange it at all. But, I mean, it's quite possible he will. I don't know. We'll see. Placing my hands onto her back, I pull her into a hug. I truly embraced her within my arms due to what I've seen and experienced. While Sayori was embraced by the hug, she closes her eyes and hugs back. She knew something wasn't right and she wanted to know. Sayori started to feel upset almost right away, wanting to cry, so tears started to form in her eyes. You don't need to say wanting to cry. Like, that's unnecessary. You don't even need to say Sayori started to feel upset. Just say tears formed in her eyes as I brought her in close or whatever. It's been too long since something this tragic has ever happened, and I think she knows that too. Tell me what's bothering you, Raven. Alright, so she knows it's not about our parents then. Alright, that's good. She's fairly quick. I'm sorry for being weak. With what I had witnessed earlier, I felt like all was lost. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if I were to let her die, but I can't help it. So is he gonna tell her or not? What do you mean? How are you weak? I don't even need to explain why. Alright, so he's gonna gimp out and not actually tell her. Like, damn. Threw away the one opportunity. I know I can do a lot of things, but protecting isn't one of those. Because my selfish actions I'll make everyone suffer. This is literally exactly what Sayori is. This is very similar to what Sayori was telling us. There's lots of parallels. Because of him, everyone will suffer. No matter how hard I tried to remove the images of what I saw in my visions, it was impossible. My head's hurting badly. I fall onto my knees and hold her hands. Looking at the ground, all she can hear is a light sobbing. I mean, when you feel this way if this happened to you, you talking to me? I'd like to think I wouldn't. I mean, it's not like something similar happened, but, like, I mean, depending on, here's the thing. If I had the visions and the flashbacks, I would definitely brush those off. Especially if they were that vivid. Like, if it were some, like, random, like, blurb, and then I woke up, I'd be more inclined to believe that than a whole conversation with a higher entity. But once the things started to happen, like, once I got to the club, and then I saw all the people, and then I recognized these were the people the vision was talking about, I would immediately go to Sayori and tell her everything. That's what I would have to do. And then it'd almost be us working together. Because, I mean, here's the thing. In the end, I know I can only save one of them, which is her. Which is why I went to her. To bring her closer. Closer to me. Because even though she's going to work to save everyone, in reality, it's going to be me working to save only her. Because I do know that if it does come down to that, I do need to focus on only her. If I only have the possibility to save one. That's if I was in the MC's point of view. Because I'm the player's point of view, I'm forced him to save Monica. Sayori tries to pull me back onto my feet, but it doesn't work. What do you mean? Just say, but it fails. Or like, just say, I stay there on my knees. It's because of me. I'll be costing people their lives. She looks at me with a confused expression, like I'm joking around. Alright, so now we have to bring it to her, because we mentioned that. That's actually good. You're going to be costing people their lives? I've had this vision that before the festival, a lot of people will die, including you. Before the festival. Alright, so we acknowledge the festival is the thing. And we know that all of the development of the game is going to take place in the week prior to the festival. So during the actual week of the game. It's just sort of like an alternate storyline. Because of me being weak, I'm going to lose you. Sayori feels uncomfortable now, knowing her life is in danger. Why are the characters accepting this as if it's truth? We haven't even met the other characters yet, or at least we haven't. The MC hasn't. But I mean, why is she like accepting this as opposed to brushing it off? What's going on? Are you sure you're not just imagining things, Raven? I mean, granted, here's the thing. No. What would be best for her to do would be to completely acknowledge our statement, even if she doesn't believe it. But I mean, we're saying it as if she does believe it. Does she not believe me? It would make sense. Because, well, it just doesn't sound realistic. That's the thing. Like, I don't know why we believe it. Why do you think I'd lie about something like this, Sayori? Do you really doubt me that much? Just because you had a vision doesn't mean it's true. Or just because you had a dream, even. This vision implies it's true, Raven. Continue to stop. Feeling betrayed like no one will believe me. So don't tell me this put me in a worse off position. That's bullshit. No way. Sayori looks at me with a sad expression pasted on her face. She immediately pulls me onto my feet and hugs me tight, pointing my hand to her shoulder. They're literally going back to the same freaking image. I'm sorry, Raven. I hate how this image is tilted, too. It's the worst part about it. It hurts my eyes. I didn't mean to doubt you. I was just skeptical, that's all. But one thing I know you're good at. Not giving up, even if things look bad. It seems like we've given up. I mean, we've pretty much already given up. You're one of the strongest people I know. I can tell you're lying to me. What achievements have I obtained worth mentioning? What achievements has anyone else obtained in the frickin' game? No one. None, because I never achieved anything, because you're in high school. I'm just a nobody. To you, to everyone. I lift my head to face her, and she starts caressing my cheek. You're so silly, Raven. To me, you've achieved much more than what I could have. That's being you. So that's an interesting line, because that makes me seem as though... So to me, that's basically a confirmation that Sayori's still depressed, and will ultimately commit suicide if we don't do anything. Because if she doesn't see worth in herself, if she sees us as having more worth than her, despite, us being in this horrible position, that makes it seem... The MC's like, oh my god, the MC's like the kid who plays off having depression while Sayori actually has and is severely depressed. It's like clinical depression. It can't be true, I just know it. Tears continue to roll down my cheeks. Impossible. I haven't. Sayori cuts me off before I could continue my sentence. Raven, even if me or anyone else does die, we won't fault you for trying to save one of us. That's the thing. Because they're going to die regardless, whatever you do. So it's not on you. You're not the one who caused their death. But if you do manage to save one life, that is on you. You were the one who saved that person's life. As much as I don't want to die, it might be fate taking its course. Why is everyone so, believing of this? As if we just had one vision. And the he's already talking as if this is truth. And the Sayori's so inclined to believe what the MC had to say. So don't blame yourself for something you have no control over. But you're all I have left. What would I live for if you die as well? Your parents? What? Why aren't you living for your parents? This is what I'm saying. He's given up. He doesn't care about his parents. I wouldn't have anything to live for if you disappear as well. Her grip on me tightened, not allowing me to say anything else, actually choking him. If I do pass on, live life to the fullest no matter what obstacle is in your way. That's the point. That's what our mother said. The MC didn't take those words to heart. I mean, my eyes start to swell up. What she was saying really hit me on a personal level, because that's exactly what your mother said. Believe in the Raven that believes in you. It's actually a fairly good quote. I mean, because, I know, I'm not the best person, but I do believe in what I do. If you get into a situation where you don't, then, words of encouragement like this can really, change your attitude towards it. That quote, I remember it from somewhere, but it's definitely motivating to hear. I don't remember it from anywhere. It's what her dad said. I started thinking about what Sayori said to me. Maybe everything she's said is right. You think? Just because you think it's wrong doesn't mean it's actually wrong. Same vice versa. And especially if you're in such a dark place, what you think is most likely wrong. I just have to believe in the Raven that believes in me. Moving my head away from Sayori's solars, I wipe away my tears. I'm the Raven that believes in you. No, it's not true. I don't believe in the MC, but you're the reason I can wake up every day. You're the reason I still exist in this cruel world. And knowing I have all of that, I'll carry on pushing forward. I'll fight for you no matter what. Even if it's the last thing I do. She smiled at the fact I'd fight for her, even if it meant giving my life for her. I thought he meant, if it's the last thing I do, I thought he meant committing suicide, but she wasn't finished yet. I remember your parents saying something to me years ago. It was motivational, which is kind of why I keep on going too. Yeah, that's a confirmation. That's a definite confirmation she's still dealing with her depression and her suicidal thoughts. The moment I hear the words escape her lips, I think to myself, Sayori knew something I didn't. What does that even mean? Something what? What? My heart just skips a beat, knowing whatever they said to her was important to them. I know whatever she's about to say will completely break me in two, but I have to stay strong for her. Are you sure? Dude, you haven't even listened to her yet. They told me to tell you this. Sayori, I want you to tell Raven that whatever happens to his dad or I. When was this? We love you. Please live a life of dreams to fulfill. Because this had to have been before the incident. They can't predict their death like that. It's not possible, right? There we go. I mean, I guess I'm still because this is interesting. It's interesting to see that the MC actually because I was worried he would sort of tone it down a bit and he would gimp out and not tell her everything, but seeing that he did, it's actually good. It means we can actually make some progress. Again, I wonder if we picked the other option, the MC still would have told her. I'm not entirely sure, but lots of times with these games, the options, they're really just what would you call a fallacy? Or it's like an illusion, the illusion of choice. You pick something, but the same thing happens regardless of what you pick. Could even be the same ending, regardless of whether we picked to tell her everything or not. But I mean, it's good that we did, because that's definitely the better choice. But we'll have to see. because I don't think really this will like start to take to fruition until we like meet the other girls and like join the club, which I assume is gonna happen. But I mean, I don't know. This is all like pre-game so far, and we do know that the game ends at the festival, because he specified that he saw that the visions of them dying, they were before the festival. So we now know that the game takes place during the time of the actual, or the mod takes place during the time of the actual game, during the first week. So I guess we'll have to see what happens, really, to become the person you've always wanted to be. Whatever obstacle stops in your tracks, there's something to help you downstairs in the basement. What? Hold on. Wait. So, our parents told this to Sayori. That's what she said, right? I remember the parents saying something to me years ago. They wanted me to tell you that. Alright, so I want to tell... Wait, hold on. Sayori, I want you to tell Raven that whatever happens to his dad or I, we love you. Please live a life of dreams to fulfill. To become the person you've always wanted to be. And whatever obstacle stops you in your track, there's something to help you downstairs in the basement. Are we imagining that? Or is that actually what they told Sayori? If so, then why isn't she question that? What does that mean? Are we gonna go in the basement and see some like fucked up shit? Like, that's good. That's good. That's like a good sense of what would you call it? Like, that's like making like me feel like anxiety. Like, wait, what? That's not right. Why did they tell her that? And why is she saying that to us? Why isn't she questioning that? It's like such an odd thing to say. I mean, that's a good job. That's like terror inducing right there. And with that being said, my heart actually felt like it broke in two. Did he not remember? Did he not like notice the last line? That would have been the first thing I noticed. Like, wait, what? What does that mean? The stream of tears rolling down my face ceases to stop. I start to wonder what they meant when there's something downstairs in the basement. That's what I was saying. What does that even mean? They said it like they knew something like this was going to happen. Please don't tell me it's the parents who are like, it's like our parents who are the entity, or is the entity. I mean, our parents probably wouldn't call us fucking cowards, but I mean, it's quite possible. And they were, but I guess that would explain how the entity knew about our parents or whatnot, and Sayori. If it's not Monica, it probably is our parents, but I mean, like, something like this is going to happen. That also is true, because I was about to say, like, wait, because if her mother anticipates something, if our mother anticipates something happening to our father, then, like, how and why? Especially if, like, it was some sort of accident. Like, I really don't know. We'll have to see where this develops, because this is making it seem as if there's more to it. And that's actually an okay route, given the scenario. And that actually gives our parents' death purpose, as opposed to it being slapped on there to make us feel bad for the MC, which has no real purpose. But this makes it seem like it's going to play a role later in the mod, which is actually good. Never give up on anything. Why didn't Sayori question that, though? That seems like a really odd thing to say. I'm surprised. Even if I died today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, every year, even years from now, do not give up. Wiping away the tears which rolled down my cheek, I nodded and closed my eyes. Why are we not, like, wondering about that? I'd be, like, walking straight to the basement. I'll try hard to fulfill your promise, Sayori. My parents would have wanted the same for me, to live a life full of dreams to fulfill. I'm curious. We better go to the basement before like we actually start the game or like go to the club. Thank you, Sayori. I'm glad. I want you to be happy, not be sad. I'm happy because of you. I move away slowly, looking at her with a sad smile. Sayori, Raven, no matter what happens, I'm here for you. Oh wait, hold on. Why is it stopped? My whole body starts to shake violently. Alright, I was about to say, wait, is he about to say that? And then like, wait, why is it stopped? My whole body, alright, I already read that. My vision starts to waver. Don't tell me you pass out. We need to go to the basement. I'm starting to feel lightheaded. I immediately fall onto my knees, feeling the pain spread throughout my body. What's going on? So this is clear. So Sayori's like watching this happen. And this is clearly related to like the visions and the flashbacks we've been having. It's quite possible the higher entity is causing this, which may or may not be Monica or our parents, but it really hurts. Stop. The rate my heart is beating increases drastically, like it's forcefully missing beats. What do you mean? The beating of my heart so loud even stops me from thinking. It's becoming too much. My body starts to fall in. I pass out, blacking out almost immediately. You don't need to say that. You can just cut to a black screen. Raven? Alright. Raven? Wait, oh, so we can actually hear her, so we're going to wake up. I hear Sayori calling out to me, shaking me, but I can't actually move my body. So your conscience, then. even though you know you're going to sacrifice people's lives. So, all right, so that's the voice and the vision speaking to us from the higher plane, or the higher entity. Because they at first they made it seem like it was an inevitability and nothing they could stop, and that basically they were giving us the opportunity to save one of them by telling us. Now they're making it seem like it's going to be our fault. Like, just complete 180. I mean, really don't know what's going on at this point. We've had way too many, like, there's been way too much information, or more, way too much dialogue in regards to these visions or whatnot. Like, it's just too much. Like, this early in the game, like, it really doesn't make sense. You continue to push forward and excel in life. We haven't been, though. I will overcome this sick and twisted game you forced me into. They mentioned that it wasn't them who was doing it, and that it was the game inevitability killing off some of the characters, and that they were giving us an opportunity by telling us. But now they're making it seem as if it's our fault. Like, I really don't understand at this point. Not just for myself or Sayori, for everyone. It's not like I want you to give up or anything, but seriously, how long will it take for you to give up? Because before they called us a coward for not wanting to try, and now they're basically saying we're going to give up. I mean, it really doesn't make sense, unless it's two different entities. Like, you know, this could be Monica, and the first one could have been our parents or whatnot, but never. Sayori's the last thing I have, and I will not let you take her away from me. All I can hear are big words and not enough actions being made to back your point up. Like, they have a point, but, like, they're saying it in a context basically saying that we're destined to fail, as opposed to, you know, we need to change. I want to see how much of you can take before you give up and make your spirit waver. Let me tell you one thing, it will never waver. I'll overcome what obstacles you throw in my way. Believe me, I will. I wish I had the same mindset as you did. This has to be that's a very interesting line. It really has to be either our parents or Monica. And it is possible that they could have been two separate entities. This could be Monica speaking to us, and the first one could have been our parents. Because they do have not only a different tone, but it seems like they have different understandings of the game and different objectives and like agendas. Because the first one, they assumed that simply killing off the characters was an inevitability of the game, but they were giving us the opportunity to save one of them by letting us know. This one makes it seem as if we're going to fail regardless, and basically telling us to give up, or like banking on us failing, which makes it seem as if the first one could be our parents and the second could be Monica. But wait, what do you mean? Alright, I think I'm done here. Wait, what? How are we in our room? Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I mean, there's only so much of this mod I can take at one time, because, like, I'd say this is easily the worst mod I've ever played. I mean, it's just, this isn't DDLC. We haven't even gotten into, like, we haven't even met the club yet. We haven't even gotten into, like, that part of the game. And there have been mods that have been made that have started before the club, or at least, but they were at least related to, like, DDLC. This is, like, I mean, granted, even though there's Sayori, like, it really isn't about that yet. And I mean, I don't understand. Like, at this point, it's too far for me to give, like, basically, I guess I could say what I would have done, because I feel obligated to do that at this point. There was no need for that next vision. We already had that one giant vision and flashback with so much dialogue and so much information. There's no need for another, especially because it didn't tell us anything new. The only new bit that we got was, the only real, like, useful information we got from the vision was basically the entity saying they wish they had that attitude, which makes me think it is a physical person. It is Monica or her parents. It's not some sort of, like, higher entity. They're speaking to us as if they were once, like, a part of the game, or once a character, or they are on our level, basically. So that basically confirms it. I mean, but, like, other than that, it really wasn't necessary. I do like how they gave us the option to tell Sayori. Because, I mean, or at least gave us a choice. Like, because I haven't spent the entirety of Summer Hope, there wasn't a single choice, which wasn't bad. It's, the third best mod I've played? But, I mean, in this mod, it's just, like, a refresher. And it was a meaningful choice. It wasn't, like, a choice where, like, it doesn't have a difference, or it doesn't really have an impact in the game. It was actually, like, a choice that held a lot of weight and meaning to it, but yeah, and along with that, I guess it's also in regards to what I don't find is how the MC and Sayori are so believing of, not like the MC, I can understand him believing it, but Sayori, I don't understand why she believes it as much as she did, unless, you know, the dialogue we got from her in regards to our parents, that was fairly interesting, especially the part about go look in the basement or whatever, because, like, first off, it is questionable, like, basically the context of when they told her, basically anticipating their death, but also saying for her to tell us to go look in the basement whenever we had trouble or whatever. That was good. That's some good dialogue right there. That's like a good line to like develop like anxiety and terror, because like now it's like, wait, what did they mean by that? Like now we have to go into the basement and look, and like what was going on back then, really, like that type of thing. It's like a mystery you need to solve or whatever. And all, like that was pretty good. The choice was good, but like we really didn't need that vision. Like, it really was unnecessary. The only thing it let us know was that the person speaking to us, or the things speaking to us, was once a character in the game, and which also can, like, explains why they're speaking, as if they were on our level as opposed to some higher entity. But it really is like, I really don't understand the direction this mod's going. I assume it's the next day and we're going to school, but I mean, like, it's just, it really doesn't make sense. Like, and it also went back and forth on whether or not, you know, we save, either everyone dies and we get to pick one to save, or if we save Sayori, everyone lives. Because that's just literally every other mod. But I mean, I'm really hoping it's the former, but I mean, I really don't know. Like, that's the problem. And I guess I don't know. I mean, I really have to say this is the worst mod I've played, just being quite honest. I mean, it's just, it has no real direction. Like, it had some interesting developments, but there's no, they haven't tied it into the game yet. It doesn't really feel like any of this has any meaning or purpose in the game. Like, what they should have done was, they should have, rather than front load all the dialogue and information, they should have gave it to us in bits. So like, we wake up, it's the day of the club, and then we have a vision at night, and then that changes our actions for the next day, and at the end of that day we have another vision, and basically we keep getting visions in each night, and our actions deviate further and further from the original game, and basically in the end it's not even following the same route as the game, essentially. Like, we can have some giant event during the weekend where, you know, we have to save everyone, or basically we have to make our pick in who we save. That would have been a lot better. First off, it's a lot simpler than what's going on right now. It's a lot easier to wrap your head around. Secondly, it's a lot more DDLC related. Like, this isn't DDLC related at all. We haven't, like, really seen any action with, like, the club and the other girls or whatnot. Third, I had something going into this. I don't know. Oh yeah, third, it's a lot. I completely just blanked right now. And anyway, third, it just, I guess, I don't know. I can't really speak until I play through the game, but at this point, like, it hurts to, like, play through this, simply because of, like, how poorly it was written. It really feels like the mod makers didn't really play through the game, or at least have anyone else play through it for them. Because just, like, this is just, like, monotonous. It's just, like, dragging on. I mean, vision after vision, dialogue after, with information. It really, there's no, like, what's the point? Like, if you want to, like, hook people onto your mind, you need, like, some sort of event in the beginning. Which that event could have been, like, an initial vision, like a little blurb or snippet or whatnot, to get us, like, hooked on. But this is just, like, front-loading information. That's not really interesting. Like, this isn't interesting. I'm not having fun. I'm not, like, intrigued by the mod. It's just more so, like, just what's going on. Trying to wrap my head around everything and, like, think of where this could possibly lead. It's just, it really, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, because normally I can play mods for, like, an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 minutes and stop because I'm afraid the video will, like, break or whatnot. Or basically that the video won't because if I play for too long, then the video could sometimes gets corrupted, and like I basically lose all of the video. But I mean, that's usually when I stop. But like this, I can't go for like more than like, it seems like every time I have some sort of like vision, it's just happened way too much, way too frequently. That's the problem. Like, yeah, it's just at this point I can't even begin to describe like the problems this game has. I just have to say it's like a shit mod. I mean, just being upfront honest, like it could have been salvaged. Like the concept is interesting in that, because now that we know we have to go with our parents' deaths, we could have started with the little snippet, like flashback to our parents' deaths. It should have been a lot more simpler logistically. Then out of that, we wake up and we could say something like, oh, I had the dream again or whatnot. And it was like, oh, that was what happened 6 years ago when my parents died or whatnot. And then we go to the grave, place down the roses, and then like have our little interaction with Sayori there. And then wake up the next day. We could have had, literally, the vision should be so much shorter. It should just be a couple or few sentences at max. We could have had a vision saying like, basically, you're the catalyst to break the cycle or whatnot. And then we say, what do you mean? And then the vision's like, save one to lose them all. And we're like, wait, who's they? And then we wake up. That would have been like a perfect first vision that gets that in our mind. And then we come out, meet Sayori, and then tell her about what we heard. And then Sayori, if she's smart enough, she could deduce it to be oh, it means the other girls or whatever in the club. And then even if she couldn't, like, she would reassure us, go back, and then we would go back, and then have in our dream being like, or in our vision saying like, Sayori doesn't know, but I do, or something. And it's like, I don't want this to happen. This isn't how it should be. And then like we wake up or whatnot. And then like we get to the club, and that's when we realize, oh, it's these people. And then we start to like, the game starts to deviate off course. And then we basically, through the decisions we make, and I assume this mod's going to be fairly decision heavy, considering it's luring us on that we're going to be able to pick which one we have to save. But I mean, if it is going to be decision heavy, it could like slowly take us off course, and ultimately like before the festival forcing us to like save one of the girls. It would be really fucked up if they were all going to kill themselves at the same time. But it seems more so like the one we hang out with, or the one we spend time with, is the one that's going to like basically survive while the rest just get like purged from existence. I really don't know, but that's really how it should have been, as opposed to just front loading all this dialogue and information through the visions, having all these unnecessary scenes and unnecessary, like, it would have made the game a lot quicker too. It would have been a lot shorter, a lot smaller. Not necessarily a lot. It would have been like, what would you call it? Smaller as in like game size, like the file size. And it would have been a lot less dialogue, like less lines, but it would have been more meaningful lines, and it would have been easier for the audience to wrap their heads around, as opposed to all the crap that's been going on now. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it. There's no point in playing. I'm playing Surgeon Slayer today. Hopefully. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see, but yep. Guess that's it for today. Tomorrow it is then.